Global Weather Forecast News, update on Hurricanes Alda and Humberto. Good day to all our viewers following the Global Weather Forecast News program. We are honored to accompany you in this familiar time slot to deliver the most important and detailed updates on global weather conditions, particularly the developments that have been causing widespread concern in these final days of September 2025. At present, the Atlantic Ocean has become the focal point of international meteorological attention, as well as for coastal residents, due to the simultaneous activity of two tropical storms named Alda and Humberto. The parallel occurrence of these systems makes forecasting and emergency response far more complex, while also sounding the alarm on serious risks that may arise in the coming days. According to the latest data from national forecast centers, Hurricane Alda is currently maintaining strong tropical storm force winds, with sustained winds near the center reaching up to 120 km per hour, 75 miles per hour, and gusts exceeding 140 km per hour, 87 miles per hour. It is moving northwestward at about 15 to 20 km per hour, 9 to 12 miles per hour. Satellite imagery shows that Alda's structure is becoming increasingly organized, with a clearly defined eye and spiral bands of convection covering a wide area. Meteorologists note that the waters Alda is traversing remain very warm, averaging 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, 84 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. An ideal condition for further intensification. Moreover, vertical wind shear is currently low, meaning there is little atmospheric resistance to the storm's development. As such, the probability of Alda strengthening into a more powerful hurricane within the next 24 to 48 hours is high. Forecast tracks suggest Alda is headed toward the offshore waters near Florida, with the potential to impact the southeastern United States within the next 3 to 5 days. This scenario is particularly dangerous, as Florida is both densely populated and historically vulnerable to hurricanes. Meanwhile, farther east over the Atlantic, Hurricane Humberto is also showing complex behavior, originating from a tropical disturbance near the Cape Verde Islands. Humberto has already strengthened to produce winds of about 100 km per hour, 62 miles per hour, and is continuing to intensify. Geostationary satellite images reveal wide, spiraling cloud bands drawing in moisture from the south, fueling powerful convection. Unlike Alda, Humberto is tracking west to west-northwest and is expected to remain over the central Atlantic in the coming days. Although no immediate landfall is projected this week, forecasters remain cautious, as the storm's path remains uncertain, especially with the possibility of interaction between Alda and Humberto. When two tropical cyclones form within proximity, they can influence each other's movement and intensity in what is known as the Fujiwara effect. While no clear evidence yet suggests strong interaction, the risk cannot be ruled out. Impacts from Alda and Humberto are already being felt across the region. Caribbean islands such as the Bahamas, Cuba, and Jamaica are forecast to receive heavy rainfall from Alda's outer bands, heightening the risk of flash floods and landslides in mountainous areas. In the United States, Florida has already entered a heightened state of alert, with local authorities urging residents to stock up on essential supplies including food, water, fuel, and medical necessities. Evacuation routes along the coast are expected to open early to ensure safety should Alda intensify and draw closer to land. Other southeastern states, including Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, are also advised to closely monitor updates and prepare accordingly. Meanwhile, parts of Central America, such as Honduras, Nicaragua, and Belize, may experience indirect impacts from Alda's expansive circulation, including widespread heavy rains and flooding. Maritime activities across the Caribbean Sea and Central Atlantic are expected to be severely disrupted, with wave heights ranging from 4 to 6 meters, 13 to 20 feet, and possibly over 8 meters, 26 feet, near the storm's center. Airlines are also revising flight routes to avoid hazardous weather zones. Meteorologists have drawn comparisons between the current situation and previous hyperactive hurricane seasons such as 2005 and 2017, when multiple concurrent systems in the Atlantic resulted in catastrophic losses. When two or more storms develop simultaneously, the risk of damage increases significantly. As emergency resources become stretched and response efforts grow more complicated, in anticipation of potential impacts, Florida has activated emergency preparedness measures. With the National Guard placed on standby for rapid deployment, residents are being strongly urged not to underestimate the threat, as even small deviations in a storm's track can drastically change the scale and severity of its impacts. In the next 24 hours, Alda is forecast to intensify further, potentially reaching sustained winds above 140 km per hour, 87 miles per hour. While Humberto continues to strengthen gradually as it drifts northwestward, over the following 48 to 72 hours, Alda may approach Florida's coast with direct impacts possible, while Humberto remains out at sea. However, over the longer 5 to 7 day period, conditions could become even more complex if Alda weakens over land and then re-emerges over the Atlantic, where it could interact with Humberto and an advancing cold air mass from the north, potentially developing into a larger low-pressure system. We strongly emphasize that residents of U.S. coastal states, particularly Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, should follow official forecasts closely and prepare emergency plans immediately. Stockpiling essential supplies such as clean water, food, medicines, fuel, and securing safe shelter can be the key to reducing risks. In the Caribbean, those living in low-lying or mountainous areas should remain especially vigilant to the threat of flash flooding and landslides, and be ready to evacuate if ordered. Ladies and gentlemen, the simultaneous presence of hurricanes Alda and Humberto has made weather conditions over the Atlantic highly volatile and unpredictable. This serves as a clear reminder of the intensifying impact of global climate change on extreme weather events. Rising ocean surface temperatures not only foster more frequent storms but also make them stronger and more destructive. Preparedness and coordinated response between authorities and communities are critical in minimizing losses. We will continue to monitor the developments of Hurricanes Alda and Humberto closely and bring you the most accurate and timely updates in our upcoming broadcasts. Thank you for watching today's global weather forecast news. We wish you and your families safety and peace through these severe weather conditions. Until next time.